Hey guys, I've never done one of these before, so I wanted to do my first video on unboxing some art stuff that I got and take you guys along with the ride while I try it out and see what we got. So this company is Jack Richeson. It's paint company, art supplies, whatnot. I don't know if you can see it right here. Oh, it's upside down, there we go. They're having a little contest, Casein 2020. Casein is a type of paint that is very similar to gouache, and gouache is very similar to watercolor. Casein though is milk based, and it doesn't reactivate when you hit it with water, and I'll show you that in a second. But I don't know what's in here. I paid 50 bucks and got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 colors, some sheets of watercolor paper, and 2 brushes, and entrance into a contest. So whatever I make for this contest here, we'll set down again, I submit it and entered into like a contest to win like $2,000 or something crazy. I just wanted the stuff, so I figured we'd check it out here and compare it to a few things that I have laid out in front of me, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so I got my messy art set up here. I'm set up for success. I got some paper over there. I got my water. I got a towel. I got some brushes. I have my new mixing tray I got it taped down because I hate when my mixing trays move. So hopefully this stays down pretty good. I've got my box of stuff. So let's go ahead and check that out. See what we got. We got paper. See ya. Yep, Casein, Wisconsin made matte finish professional Casein. Ooh, some sweet paper. I think it's Hanemühle from Germany. We'll check that out in a second. Let's get this out of the way. All right, let's see what we got. Good stuff. This one's label number 1. Titanium white, as Mr. Bob Ross would say. Rose red, which I guess is a pinky red. Cadmium red scarlet. The boxes are kind of cool. I like these. Oldest known artist paint. I'll have to research that. This one says 2, so we'll open this one next. Ultramarine blue deep, cadmium yellow light. I wonder if it's a real one. It is. Ooh, that's the good stuff. Okay. Naples yellow. That's a good yellow. The last one, Permasol blue. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of Permasol blue. It says PB15. I think that is Prussian blue. Burnt umber and Shiva green. Okay. PG7. I don't know what that is. So what I'm looking at are these little numbers right here. It says PB29. And then if you look at any other color, so here's Naples yellow and a gouache, and it is PB24. So this Naples yellow is made up of 3 different pigments. So this Naples yellow is going to be a little bit different than this one. This is like a pure pigment, and this one here is going to be a mixture of a bunch of different ones. And ultramarine blue, which is right here, is going to be PB29. If I look at this one, it is PB29. So that's going to be the same pigment. So it means these blues, one being gouache, one being Casein, should match. So there's those. It smells funny. It smells like tempera paint. So if you walk in an elementary classroom, it smells like that. I'm not going to worry about these right now. Looks like a nice 3 1/4 inch brush, a number 8 round. We'll try those out later. So what I did is I made some stripes of paint. I just did some gouache, some Winsor Newton, I think it's the sky blue, and did a little swatch of that. And then I used this acrylic gouache from Liquitex. and I'll show you what that means in a second. And I did a stripe of that. When you draw over these, it gets really chalky, so it's not recommended, especially on the gouache, to like draw over it. Acrylic gouache isn't too bad. I can still see my lines. It got a little scratchy. The tip got a little gummed up, but it's not too bad. What's cool about gouache is this has been dry for a while. I can take some water and I can reactivate it, which can be good, it can be bad. Clean off the brush. If I do that to the acrylic one, nothing happens. All right, this is basically like acrylic paint-ish, and that's what's really cool about this one here. So it's kind of give or take on both of these. So the casein should be a lot like the acrylic gouache. So I have a damp brush, take some blue, goes down very similar to gouache or watercolor. I imagine I can go a little more thick. Oh yeah. That's really smooth. That's kind of cool. Take a little yellow here. That's pretty cool. That wasn't the cleanest. That's better. What I'm noticing so far is that when you paint with it, it's a really smooth application. There's not a lot of brush strokes and streaks. It goes down quite nice. Looks like it dries really quick too. This purple should be pretty bright. Now, the trick to casein is if I have a wet brush that's already dry, it shouldn't go anywhere. It looks like it is because it might not be dry. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, it's still lifting up. Let's try. We'll come back to that. We'll let it dry for a little bit. Before I get too far, let's check out these guys. Ooh, it's a nice chipboard. Can paint on that later. Don't throw that out. They only give me one sheet of paper? What the heck is an artist supposed to do with one sheet of paper? I'm sorry, 2 sheets of paper. What? Better get it right the first time, huh? So anyway, Honey Mule is a German company. They make pretty killer printer paper. And recently, I think they just got into artist papers. Well, apparently not. Recently, 1584. Yeah, recently. But they have really, really nice paper. And this one, they look the same. No, they're a little different. It says cold pressed, rough, and hot pressed. This is not hot pressed. So this one's to be cold pressed and rough. They're a little bit different. No, the same. They're probably cold pressed. Sounds pretty thick too. Might be 300 grams, so should do some damage with that. Nice flat brush, nice round. They usually have starch in them, so it's a good idea to get a little damp first to get get the starch out of the brush. It's a nice little synthetic flat brush. It's not bad. A little synthetic round. Let's see what it does. It actually has a pretty decent point to it, and it keeps it pretty good. Wow. Okay. Look at that. That's not terrible. Usually I hate about these cheap brushes, the handles are flimsy. Like here. This one isn't. I kind of like that. And then a giant flat one. I don't know what that's going to do. Holds a considerable amount of paint. Not bad. Little lines. Use the corner. Not bad. And apparently I can read about the history of casein later. And I will let you guys know how it goes. So I was just playing for a little bit. It looks like it doesn't cover up ink very well, whereas the gouache does a little bit better, maybe. But you can see right here, I used some Naples yellow over the top of my sky blue. And you can see as I swirled the brush, the blue got taken up and made this kind of gross green. And when you overlay them, it does lift a little bit. But I noticed with the casein, I put some of this rose deep over the top of this puddle of purple, and it didn't take any of the purple with it. It just kind of stayed rose deep, which is kind of nice. Same with the yellow. Even these two guys didn't mix over here. So it does look like it reactivates with water, but it kind of stays put, if that makes sense. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these, and I think it's supposed to be dry out tomorrow or Friday. I might go do a painting and show you the results. If not, I'll do one indoors. I'll find some reference photo that I've been wanting to paint for a while, and we'll give it a whirl.